Well, how y'all are this afternoon? This is your buddy George Jones over here at the Bergen Gun Range with my next installment on, hey, I got this old used gun. The old used gun I got well, let's keep right on going. The old used gun I got today is a Dinger. This is a 1909 .45 long Colt 7-inch service revolver. Now, these guys, they have a kind of a checkered history. Okay, the Marines bought these guys, and they said USMC down here on the butt. Okay, the Army purchased them. Okay, when we had separation of branches back in the day, when it was the War Department instead of the Department of Defense, you had separation of branches. So the budgets, overall budgets, were separate, and a lot of guys would buy their own. A lot of soldiers went to war, even in World War II, with personally owned firearms. They go buy and go out and buy them one rifle and take it to war. So you saw these guys marked, unmarked, like this one is. You saw them marked USMC, property of United States Army, property of United States Navy, property USN, and so forth. And you also saw a great deal of them that had been repatriated. That means, and you can tell a repatriated gun because it's covered with British proof marks. Now, the U.S. military establishment had quite a few of these guns on inventory at the beginning of World War II. And many of them were sent out to Lend-Lease to the British. Because you could put a .455 Webley cartridge in one of these guys the same way you could put an auto rim in it. This one is in .45 long Colt. Now this gun will shoot .45 long Colt ammunition. It'll shoot .455 Webley ammunition, and it'll shoot .45 ACP ammunition. Well, you say, well, George, cotton picking ACP doesn't have a protruding rim. Well, they had half moon clips and full moon clips, so you could clip 3 rounds together and drop them in the cylinder 3 at a time and get her loaded up, and the clip would hold the cartridge in the correct index for firing. That's the way that worked. This guy has the standard pull latch, but it doesn't have the scalloped version. They hadn't come out with that yet. They were just using the square latch. This gun is missing the end ferrule on the ejector rod, or the crane rod. Other than that, it has a slightly modified grip, okay? And it has a D lanyard ring. So the lanyard that was designed for this would have been a leather strap, as opposed to a snap and a canvas cord, like a legging lace or something. It is double action. This particular example is very mechanically sound. It has a nice smooth trigger pull and brake. It has the ubiquitous anteater firing pin, okay, which is fixed, and it is fixed, but it's not forged into part of the hammer. I think it's pressed in or something like that, but I've never seen one need to be replaced. It's nice. It's okay. The finish of this gun is in 80% and appears to be of the type of blue that would indicate the bluing on it that is on it is original. So there's some patina, some rust that's built up and has been rubbed away again, by maintenance and so forth. The grip has been finger scalloped. Now, a previous owner may have had a smaller hand, because the grips on these guys are made just exactly the opposite the way they should be to fit your hand. You have the small part of the grip where your big finger is, and the big part of your grip where your small finger is. Okay, so it's kind of offsetting to some people who shoot these guns a lot. And bear with us a moment. I just noticed that the crane stop screw is backing out. Let's get us a little Leatherman screwdriver, which just happens to be a gun screwdriver, and run that guy back in there before the crane falls out or we lose the screw. Okay. All right then. This gun belongs to a young man who has inherited it and asked me how much it was worth. I don't say the value of guns on YouTube. YouTube algorithm doesn't allow people to say the price of a firearm on gun content, YouTube. But let's say that it's 10 fingers times 3 fingers. so it's this times this. You figure it out. Okay? We're going to fire-rotate this gun right here in just a second. The young man's been shooting the gun, and he saved 5 rounds of 250 grain PMC Cowboy. And I'm going to get out here and just fire-rotate this gun. Loading off camera, you see. There, see how I loaded that gun off camera? You see that? Because I'm a smart YouTube creator. Warning to YouTube, I am installing my suppressor. All right, let's give it a whirl. Those of you that watched this channel before understand that at 25 yards there's a TQ-19 chest center. I'm going to see if I can't hit it. I'll be shooting a freight train at it. So if you hit it, if it hits it, you should hear it hit. Let's give it a whirl of 5. And we'll just shoot this old hand howitzer once or twice here. I can get down here where I can. Boy, that thing's a big old gun. That's a big old gun. The Germans bought these and used them for submarine deck guns in World War I. Let's try it. Double action fly shooter sights. Oh, whammy! Yeah. Oh, I missed it. Must have pulled it. I don't know what happened. Something happened. I think I hit it off the... Yeah, it's a swinging. You don't hit that thing dead in the middle, it don't sound off real good. All right, here we go again. Oof, it's a hand howitzer. One more, I want to hit it this time. I'll pull her down on single whaction. Well, I missed it again. But it's moving, it just didn't chime. Oh, man. Boy, them some big old shells right there. Thing about it is, in 2009, this gun was 100 years old. So this qualifies as a gun over 100 series gun. Guns over 100 years old that still work and shoot. And this one definitely still works and shoots. I looked down the barrel of this thing earlier. It has very pronounced rifling in it. Considering how good a shape it's in, it must have been taken good care of because mercury priming was pretty common all the way up to the 1930s in American ammunition. So those lands and grooves are very crisp. Boy, you don't even need to put a light up there. You can see to it like looking down a railroad tunnel. You know, those lands and grooves are very crisp. It's been very well maintained. The fact that it has 80% of its original condition says it's been very well maintained over the years. A very valuable piece, a family heirloom, and a museum piece. But it works. Bad comes to worse, you can blow the wolf off of your doorstep, buddy, with this thing. Well, there you go. Great piece of history. Appreciate the young feller letting me use it. Like-tate, share-a-pie, commentate, and subscribe. Leave me a $1 in a Patreon bucket if you want to, and if you don't, I keep right on making content for you. Be kind to everyone you meet. Check on the old people in your community. Summer's coming. You know, Bidenomics might not be letting them pay their light bill. They may not be out of air conditioning. Be kind to everyone you meet. God bless America. But have a plan. We'll see y'all.